Obviously. It's what we get. Wherever we go, we get the claps. I mean, well, maybe that's...
Wherever we go, we get the clap.
We get the claps.
Yeah, so now welcome to the clap portion of the show.
Well, it's the Mike and Tim show. Here,
Yeah.
I usually say, I usually start off, I notice I always start off saying, here we are. Well, here we are.
Well, here, yes.
Well, here we are.
And today, is this backwards?
It just is.
Oh, it is. Well,
There's a reason.
We'll have to read it then. What we're doing on today's show is we are reviewing the Blue Point. What's it say? Blue Point Brewing Company. They have a thing here called a toasted lager. What I'd really like to know, it says American style amber, which is really good. This is kind of like Saranac. But what I'd like to know about the actual beer is, where is the toast?
Well, I think...
Did they actually put any bread in this when they do it?
They actually put bread right in there. There's actually bread. If you look, really, if you really stick your eye, right, actually, if you can get the bottle, if you can get your eyeball actually right inside, I can't because, I got glasses on.
Right.
And,
looks kind of yellow to me.
Yeah, this is a good beer. Blue Point toasted lager, American style amber.
Now, toasted means they toast the oats?
Toasted malts, yeah.
Oh.
So it says here, an amber tide of rich flavors brewed with our own unique blend of 6 malts. It's the finest lager on land or sea. Old Blue Point.
This beer will remain brewery fresh 180 days after the bottled on date.
Yeah, after that, it's going to sprout wings.
Yeah.
Flies away.
Well, I mean, this comes from Long Island.
It's from Long Island, New York.
Yeah. Blue Point. I wonder if there is actually a Blue Point in Long Island. That's where the name came from. They could have called it like Green Point, Red Point, Oval Point, Yellow Point, No Point, One Point, point, and other points.
So, and it's pretty cool on here, way up at the top, by the logo, there's a little buoy.
Yeah.
And it says, established Long Island, and then it has what looks like coordinates.
Oh, yeah, they don't give you the date because they're really not that old.
48.77 by 73.82.
Yeah, right.
That's
They don't actually tell you how old the brewing company is because they don't want to review the fact that it's probably, probably last week.
Well, that. Unlike Europe, that's very true of America because after Prohibition, there was, for a long time, there was no...
Yeah, there wasn't anything.
If any microbreweries were... The only customer was the next door neighbor, probably, if that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really until probably it started in the 50s and 60s, but it really took off in the 70s.
Yeah, 70s and microbrews really started up.
And then once the 90s hit,
boom,
there was places like beers like Anchor Steam.
Yes. That
were available. Obviously, you could always get Anchor Steam in San Francisco, but now you can get it here in New York.
Yeah, get it all over the place.
Yeah. So this is, kind of like one of those beers. This is very good. This is like a toasted flavor, but it's very light toasted.
Yeah, it's
flavor.
not bad. It's not
like a heavy malt. It's not like
not like an IPA.
No, and it's not like a toasted stout or anything like that. It's just very light. It's amber. It's got a nice color.
You probably could paint this on the walls. It's got like a yellow.
Hang on a sec.
What?
An unfortunate situation has occurred.
What is that?
My bottle is empty.
Oh, this could be serious.
See, there's nothing in here.
Oh well, where did it go?
So,
you'll have to open up another one.
Where'd it go? I drank it. That's where it went. What do you mean, where did it go? What do you
It's
think?
a very sort of Saranac.
It has a nice malty taste. Yeah, I like that.
That's not bad at all.
I like this too. This is a pretty good beer. These people are watching us now, and they're like most of the manufacturers that we review. They're like, "Oh my God, this Mike and Tim are reviewing our beer."
Hey, they've actually got a phone number. We should actually give them a call.
Well, we should probably call them up and say, here we are.
We like your stuff.
We're drinking your beer actually live on the show right now.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up another bottle of this here because you really can't review a beer with an empty bottle.
After only one beer, you need another one to make sure
this is
that
going to be number 3.
Then you're really going good.
Yeah, so whatever I say is going to have a lot of weight.
Right.
Because I've already had 2.
So the third one is really going to make the emphasis. I'd probably, to perfectly straight honest, because I lie all the time.
Oh, you do?
What I would do, I'd have 6 or 7 of these in about 15 minutes, and that way you really could be able to tell exactly what the whole entire thing would taste like.
And these taste pretty good cold, too. And these are pretty cold because it's like cold out.
They're fairly warm. I mean, it's a warm beer. It tastes great warm. A lot of beers, like some of those IPAs, don't really taste that great warm as far as I'm concerned. They'd better be cold so you can bury the taste of the hops.
The malts taste sweeter when it's warm, I think.
Yeah.
But I guess the hops is less bitter when it's cold.
Right.
Does that stand to reason?
But
let us know what you think. Put a comment in.
But here's the deal.
Audience interaction.
Right. Yeah. Oh, here's the thing. They used to ship the IPA was an Indian Pale Ale. So the England could ship the beer to India when they were a colonial power there.
Yeah. The extra hops was like a preservative for the long trip.
Make it last. But but who wants to drink? You know, who wants to drink a hot beer?
A temporary solution. Yeah. Before that, hops was not a big ingredient in beer, and certainly not to not like a very strong flavor. Most beers you found in England, most of them were porters, and porters were made. You made your own beer. You know? And it had whatever coriander, fruit, barley. I mean,
but
whatever was
probably
around.
not too much fruit there in England. Because
No, that was saved for holidays.
Yeah, no, your fruit was a very, they were short growing season in England. The continent has a much bigger growing season. You know, France and Belgium and Germany, those places.
This is the cap here.
Yeah, Blue Point. Good beer.
A good cap is very important.
Yeah.
Who wants a great beer and then wants to top it off with a shitty looking cap?
Right, exactly.
All right, you know what I'm saying? Here's another a cap here. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll have a cap display.
What do we got?
Of course, Blue Moon.
Oh.
Very popular.
Now, where did they get the idea of a Blue Moon?
Well,
They weren't getting any that night, so they decided to make beer instead?
There's that song.
Blue Moon.
How the hell do I know where I got the idea of Blue? It's a great name for a beer.
Yeah. Where did Saranac come from?
Well, it came from Saranac.
Yeah, but Saranac is brewed in western New York, nowhere near the Saranac River or the Saranac's in the Adirondacks.
But it's the spirit of the Saranac. That's as close as they could get.
Isn't that a Native American, the Saranac's?
The word Saranac is the word Saranac Native American? I don't know. But what are you talking about? Oh, is Saranac a tribe?
Yeah.
It might be.
The Saranakis.
I don't think that was.
I don't know.
You know what we'll do?
Yeah.
We will get our crack research staff to look into this.
Yeah, good idea.
You know, and we'll find out.
I think it's a good idea.
I think it's a great idea too.
Where'd you get this useless device anyway?
Why do you do that? You're supposed to pretend. See, you're not supposed to pretend there's a box here. You're supposed to pretend that it's a real audience, or engineers are doing that. Every time I use it, you point out that this is a device that I'm just touching a button on. So you've taken away the illusion of a bigger studio with more people.
Trying to be honest.
Or a real audience.
Trying to be
honest.
You're not.
You're just being a dick.
We're trying to be honest.
No, you're not. You are not trying to be honest. Bullshit.
That looks like one of these things you get at a restaurant before your table's ready.
You are being a dick. Dick. Why did you point that out? You know nobody could see it down there. Whenever you point out something that the point is, whenever you point out something that isn't there, like when you point at something on the screen, nobody can see what you're looking at. It just looks like you're pointing at the camera.
Well, yeah.
It's confusing. It's confusing, and you have to.
I can't enunciate everything.
Well,
everything has to be done.
No, but that's got nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Everything has to be done under my esteemed personality.
Certainly esteemed.
Yes, because if I'm not esteemed, the lobsters are still alive.
Steamed, yeah. Talk about steamed. Speaking of Vanker steam.
Yeah, have you heard about that? They now have this rule over, I think it's in Scotland, that you can't drop the lobsters alive in boiling water anymore. It is inhumane treatment. So what you do, you bring your lobsters home and you shoot them. You take your gun downstairs.
Is that real?
Yeah, it's some sort of new law. I heard about it. Well, I mean,
I don't eat lobsters,
cruel and unusual punishment.
Well, it is a bit,
So what do? They got a truckload of
I know it's
lobsters?
only a lobster, but I mean, I don't know.
What do? Put them in a vise downstairs and crush them?
It's just kind of rude, though, isn't it? Maybe there should be some kind of something. There should be maybe put a little plaque in front of them that says, by the way,
you're fucked.
You are a lobster. Yeah, you're fucked. Basically, you are a lobster, and we are about to boil you alive. If you have any deity you wish to contact, you should do so at this time.
Post haste.
Post haste, because we are going to
broil your ass.
Now, of course, we don't know if the lobster can read. Here we are drinking the old Blue Point Toasted Lager.
Yeah, very good beer.
We're on our third beer, in case that wasn't already evident.
Yeah, and, because it's very evident because we are slowly slipping into our chairs of obesity.
Tim is constantly pulling the conversation off kilter, off track, I guess is the word. Not to denigrate your input on the show here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
But what I would say is, if I was going to say something, what I would say is that.
Shut up.
What I would say is that much better than a Bud. It's got a little more. I mean, it's not a heavy beer, but it's got a little bit more body to it than a Bud does. Bud is like lemonade.
Yeah.
If you ask me, it's very.
Lemonade is Bud's like lemonade with a little bit of
maybe I would say Bud is a better thirst quencher than maybe this beer is. I mean, if you're really thirsty, I suppose a Bud will, because that's probably only because it's got more water in it, really.
Right.
And less alcohol, quite frankly.
Yeah, that's correct there, George.
So Blue Point here, and Blue Point has not paid Tim and I to advertise this beer or to contrast it against Budweiser or any other brand
we might be using.
I just used Bud as a nationally known example to contrast the excellent quality of this particular beer, which I am in fact now holding here in my hand in front of the camera.
Yeah, that's right.
And then somewhat drunken
state of mind.
So,
well, you know what? I think this is one of these beers where
Colonel Hostetler. Clink. Why don't clink?
Don't go there with
clink.
70s.
Why don't you have Blue Point clink? Drink.
Don't go there.
Get your toasted lager, clink.
Tim, what you're doing there, what you just did there, what you were doing. So when things are getting tedious, probably best to reach for Blue Point Toasted Lager.
Oh, very good.
The audience agrees. Yeah. The manliness factor is very high for us.
Oh, yeah.
When people watch the show, they say, "Oh, these guys are complete fucking morons," but not unmanly.
Right.